Life. We can either be bystanders or creators. Now is the time to awaken to your divine identity and the power of the I Am within, to create a joyous and fulfilled life no matter what your circumstances are. There are answers to life's big questions, and there is a spiritual path that you can walk in this modern world that leads to soul liberation and ascension. In this dawning age of Aquarius, we're called upon to manifest the light of the mighty I Am presence to the world.
Day 8. The Human Habit. Escaping the gravity of old patterns. We should not try to solve our problems in the midst of our problems. Most human beings underestimate the power of habit. We think of habits only as behaviors, eating habits, sleeping habits, spending or emotional habits. But consciousness itself develops habits. People develop habitual ways of thinking, habitual reactions and fears, habitual emotional atmospheres, habitual interpretations of reality. And after years of repetition, these patterns begin feeling normal. A person can become so accustomed to anxiety that peace feels unfamiliar, so accustomed to criticism that kindness feels suspicious, so accustomed to struggle that ease feels unsafe. The mind builds emotional gravity. This is why transformation requires more than temporary inspiration. It requires displacement. Sometimes people try healing while remaining fully immersed in the same emotional environments, same destructive thought patterns, same unconscious reactions, and same internal narratives. But consciousness changes most powerfully when we step into a different atmosphere. The spiritual path is not merely about fighting darkness. It is about learning how to enter higher states of being. One loving thought can interrupt an old cycle. One moment of awareness can break unconscious patterns. One moment of awareness can break unconscious repetition. One courageous decision can shift an entire future. The problem is not that human beings lack divine potential. The problem is that many people live inside force fields created by years of unconscious repetition. Fear repeated becomes identity. Negativity repeated becomes personality. Limitation repeated becomes expectation. But none of these are permanent. The soul is not imprisoned by habit forever. One of the deepest realizations on the spiritual path is this: you are not required to remain the person your past conditioned you to become. That realization is revolutionary. Transformation begins when we stop endlessly circling the same emotional territory. Sometimes growth requires stepping away, stepping upward, stepping inward, stepping into new thought, new environments, new responses, new possibilities. The mind cannot always heal itself while trapped inside the same unconscious atmosphere that created the suffering. This is why stillness matters, why prayer matters, why beauty matters, why contemplation matters, why conscious community matters. Every elevated moment weakens the gravity of unconscious habit, and gradually a new center begins forming. Today, ask yourself honestly, What emotional atmosphere have I become accustomed to living inside? And then ask, what would happen if I allowed myself to step into something higher? Transformation begins right there. Thank you for joining us today. And if you enjoyed this message, please subscribe and share. Until next time, be blessed and keep shining your light.